My boyfriend moved his homeless friend into my house and then I overheard her telling him to kick me out. So, I kicked them both out instead. My boyfriend had this friend who moved in 4 months ago because she had nowhere to go. I didn't mind having her as long as she respected our boundaries and the rules around the house, but that's definitely not what happened. She was very loud, commented on everything, and just did inappropriate stuff in general, excusing it by saying, "That's just how Latinas are." She didn't help with anything around the house, maybe cook sometimes but didn't clean up the mess she made. She invited people over whenever she wanted, and once, she even changed in the living room in front of us, literally taking off her underwear. I asked her to change in her room, but her excuse was that she was trying to feel at home, and then she suggested I should do the same to strengthen my bond with my boyfriend. I talked to my boyfriend about how uncomfortable the whole situation was making me. He told me not to overthink it and said she was just very laid back and cool. But she always interrupted our time together, sitting between us during a movie or taking my seat when I went to the bathroom. She even cuddled with him in a way that was far from friendly. When I jokingly asked if she was trying to take my man, she brushed it off, saying it was just how she grew up. I knew I had to do something to ruin the Friday night they had planned. When I went up to them, she was all over him as usual. I called my boyfriend, and when he was about to get up, she said it was their favorite part of the show and that he could leave later. I insisted, but she kept pulling him back. So, I grabbed him and took him to our room to discuss how upset I was with the whole situation and told him I no longer wanted her living with us. He agreed I had the right to feel that way but said she had nowhere to go and asked me to wait until she found a job, which she wasn't even trying to get. While we were talking, she came and tried to open the door, which was locked. She started knocking, and we ignored her until the knocking got louder. My boyfriend eventually asked her to leave, but she just got louder and accused me of ruining the only time she got to spend with him, which obviously wasn't true. I had enough at that point, but my boyfriend suggested he talk to her first. He went, and they took nearly 2 hours. When I went to check on them, I overheard her telling him that he shouldn't accept someone who ruins friendships as a partner and that this was a big red flag. She suggested he kick me out, but the place is actually a property I inherited from my aunt, and that's when I knew I had to kick her out instead. I didn't even bother asking what conclusion they came to. I waited in the living room until they came out and told her to start looking for another place to live, giving her 2 weeks' notice. Since then, she's been crying, refusing to eat, and hasn't come out of the room. My boyfriend is saying I went overboard and that I hit a sensitive spot by telling her to leave when she has no family or anywhere to go. So, am I the a-hole? You can watch the second part by pressing share and more.